Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm back with Lalantika today. So, Lalantika is a psychologist. So, thank you very much for joining in. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, before beginning and we getting into any kind of discussion or discussing about today's topic, it would be great, if you could tell about yourself and about your work and what you do.
Okay, so right now I'm a practicing psychologist and I work in an online mental health uh, website called betterlife.com, which provides counseling services, especially through the online modes, that is through video call, chat, as well as phone call. And I have been practicing counseling as well. Before I joined the organization, I used to take personal sessions. Apart from that, I also have my own mental health awareness Instagram account where I have been posting various topics related posts as well as stories. I have also done a few videos indicating as well as addressing the recent mental health concerns that came up, especially during the pandemic and Corona.
Okay.
Apart from that, I have also worked in schools as school counselor,
Hmm.
and I have been practicing called as therapeutic clowning,
Hmm.
wherein we go to schools. It could be schools, orphanages, NGOs, hospitals, and all those whom we see as at a disadvantaged position. We help them uh, feel a little better through clowning, through being a clown and bringing some joy. And at the same time, it is therapeutic for the person who's doing as well, because that way you get to engage with a lot of people and learn a lot of things. And I also did my research on therapeutic clowning and how it can help an individual grow better, become mentally healthy in their life. And yeah, so that's about it, about what I do, who I am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah. So before the actual discussion, one more question I would like to add upon over here is what do you think is mental health, and how do you think, from your learning and from your practice, what is one thing you have learned, like how would you describe mental health according to you in your own words?
Okay, so I think according to me, mental health is one of the very crucial part of any human being's existence, I would say. Like we all have been taught how the body, mind, and soul are connected, right? So we have doctors to take care of our body, right? We have many activities where we do connect with our soul, and we there are a lot of people who take spiritual paths, but the important aspect there is also mind, which um, is mostly what governs how we feel, how we think, how we might behave in a society, around people, with our close people. And I feel if we don't feel mentally healthy, we might not feel physically healthy, and that might interfere with our regular functioning in general. So I think mental health is something that constitutes as one of the very key important factor or element in anyone's healthy living or in general holistic well-being.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Yeah. So could you please take us to today's discussion and today's topic, please? If you could keep your opinions and points about today's topic and what it is, you can give a summary about that. It would be great.
Right. So today we are going to discuss about whether being single is mentally unhealthy or not. So when I had to think about this one question, what came to my mind is what defines us or anyone about whether they are single or not, right? Because I feel if even if we are not romantically involved with anyone,
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
still have a very important responsibility towards ourselves, having a very healthy relationship with ourselves, which is usually called as intrapersonal relationship, right? So I feel that in general, being single or being in a relationship is definitely someone's choice, and I don't think anyone can make a call on it.
Okay.
But unless you don't feel healthy with yourself, you
Hmm.
are not in a healthy relationship with yourself,
Okay.
any relationship for that matter, be it a romantic relationship, a friendship, a parent child relationship, all would have its negative repercussions, because it's like it's like the center of any fruit, right? We have a fruit, and the center are usually the seeds, right? The seeds are basically the intrapersonal relationship, that is the relationship we have with ourselves. If that is spoiled, there is no point of having the fruit, because you won't be able to eat it anyway,
Yeah.
right? And everything outside is the relationship we have with other people, be it our parents, family, friends, our romantic partners, teachers, anybody else. So I think even though it's a choice, but first we all need to reflect and introspect about what kind of relationship we have with ourselves.
Hmm.
And once that is healthy, I think any relationship you be in, you will have a healthy perspective towards it.
Okay. Okay. And like the first question, which we, which the topic itself ask, is it mentally unhealthy to not have a relationship? Is it mentally unhealthy to be single? Is it mentally unhealthy? Is it?
So I feel it's very stereotypical. This entire thought has come up through the various social norms and the way media portrays how being single is, right? Being single altogether means that you don't have love in life, you
Mm.
don't have someone to share anything with, you don't have a companion, and that is what makes one think that being single might be mentally unhealthy. But the point is, when you are single, you still have a relationship with yourself,
Yeah.
and if you tend to forget that and ignore that, obviously you're going to feel all these things. But is it the responsibility of the other person to take care of all these things in your life, or is it your own responsibility to keep yourself happy? Right. So that's where I feel that the entire aspect of whether being single is mentally healthy or unhealthy becomes a judgment, becomes a very social judgment. And that's why a lot of people get scared. And, we usually call something that is FOMO, that is fear of missing out. Right. Recently, in fact, I had a personal encounter with one of my friends who said that, everyone is getting married in this year, but I have not even found a man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, no doubt that you might feel that just because everyone is getting married, I also need someone. But the important question here is, do you actually need that person to come in your life and make you happy?
Yeah.
Or are you doing it so that you are also in line with everyone else?
Yes.
Right. So if you genuinely need someone to come and make you happy, then it's important to reflect that why are you dependent on someone for your happiness? Isn't it your own responsibility? That emotion is very intimate, very personal to yourself. Happiness is very much like knowledge. The more you share, the bigger it gets, right? But you don't depend on knowledge from someone else. You
Yeah.
develop it by your own self. You go to Google, you read information, you develop your own knowledge. You don't depend on someone to give you knowledge and keep giving you knowledge, right? So what I feel is, whether being single or being in a relationship, right? If you have a healthy relationship with yourself, if you can find your own happiness, then anyone who comes in your life is an addition, adds to the value and meaning that you already have in your life. They aren't making you feel complete because you're already a complete person. But
Mm.
getting someone in your life, having an added value, added meaning, having someone to share it with, definitely adds more happiness to the already happiness you have.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's really a different perspective, and thank you for giving examples of your sister, of your friend, and all. Yeah, thank you very much. It is yeah, it helps out to understand the aspect of it. So why do you think this fear of missing out just gets developed? Is it because are people not really strong, that they don't understand that they are selfly sufficient, or is it just by seeing pictures of people and people getting married that she or he also wants to get into some kind of marriage, or feels to be in a relationship, or just fears of missing out?
Right. So I feel that we all are social animals.
Hmm.
Human beings would be human beings only because they are in a society, they are in
Yeah.
relationship with other people.
Hmm.
But what happens is, because we are in interaction with other people, and social media has played a big role in the kind of interaction and relationship we have with others, right? So what happens is, we start perceiving ourselves based on how the society perceives us, and that's
Mhm.
when we feel that we are being left behind in the race. Point is, everyone is running in their own races. You cannot compare that, oh, we all are running in the same race, because we all have different lives. We all are running in our own races. So just because you feel that you are behind and someone is ahead doesn't make sense, because you are not running in the same race. You don't have the same finish point. For you, the finish point might be nearer. For them, the finish point might be farther.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And that's why I feel the entire concept of fear of missing out has developed. Because when you see others, you tend to compare. You tend to compare how's my life compared to their life. And I want to be like them. Why is my life not like them? These are some questions that we ask ourselves. And a lot of my clients also ask these questions. And the one thing that I respond with is that if their life is so glamorous, popular, and happy looking, does that mean that they don't have any challenges in life
Mm.
or nothing is going wrong in their lives?
Yeah.
Just because nobody is going to post a photo or a story or a reel or a video or a snap of something that they are feeling bad about, or their weakness or their vulnerable points. Nobody is going to do that, because nobody likes showcasing their weaknesses in front of the world.
Yeah.
But because they are not showcasing doesn't mean they don't have.
Have
They
it.
have equally their challenges. And the point is, the moment you compare, you stop looking at your own positives and focus on negatives, and you start looking at others' positives and forget that they might also have negatives,
Yeah.
right? So if you feel that at this point of time, whenever you feel that you're missing out on something
Uh-huh.
that others are catching upon, the one question that you maybe have to ask yourself is that whatever they are catching up on, is that something absolutely necessary for you right now in your life? If yes, then what makes it so necessary in your life right now? If you have the answer of these questions, then what happens? Automatically, your attention, your focus gets shifted to your life, your goals.
Mm. Mm.
And when you're focusing on your goals and your life, you would not want to focus on anybody else's goals, because then how will you work on your own self, on your own aims? So I think if we all have, we all take that little time out on a daily level, right? And look at ourselves and ask ourselves that, am I fulfilling what I wanted to fulfill?
Yeah.
Am I getting what I wanted to get in
Mm.
general?
Mm.
Am I working towards what my goal is? If we are able to answer these questions, what happens? We feel peaceful with ourselves, with our own journey, with wherever we are. And when we are peaceful, even if someone is getting married, for example, or having a child, or is getting proposed by their boyfriend or girlfriend, we would be happy for them
Yeah.
rather than feeling
Yeah.
jealous that, we did not get that.
Get that. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting point that humans, everybody just says social media has made that and this, but nobody is happy for somebody. Like if you go somewhere, you're visiting some place, and if it's really good, I'll be feeling bad that I'm not and she's enjoying it, and
Yeah,
that's how we have become, and it's how we think, and nobody's happy for anybody. I think, yeah, I think
right.
everybody has it, and maybe sometimes you also do, because we,
Hmm.
as you rightly quoted, as we are social animals, and we feel everything. Yeah, that's really true. And what do you think could be solution to this, um kind of FOMO thing, that you could, like, miss the race, or it would be, people would quote me as mentally unhealthy or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
what you think could be solution for these kind of problems? Yeah.
So I feel on, all these concerns, all these questions, right? They are very much existential in nature, because the moment it comes, you start questioning what is happening in my life.
Mm.
Where is my life going? What is the meaning of my life? Are very existential in nature. There are some people who feel that answering these questions or exploration of these questions comes naturally to them. They are people who are reflective by nature, right? For them, I feel that whenever you feel that you're fearing that you are being left behind, or that everybody has a relationship and you don't, and does that mean that something is wrong with me, right? I feel at that point of time, for them, it is important to reflect on the policy of half glass full and half glass empty. If you're looking at the half glass empty, you will never appreciate what is how much it is filled,
Hmm.
right? When you are able to appreciate, you have the hope to fill it even more,
More. Yeah.
right? So what happens, the magic behind being appreciative, acknowledging and recognizing your positives in life, your achievements in life, what have you learned, right, helps you given hope that in future, if I feel that I am lagging behind in some aspect, I can work through it to achieve that. But if you focus on that, I don't have this, I don't have that, that person is getting it, I am not, why am I
Getting.
not getting it?
Hmm. Hmm.
Why would you work on it? You've
Yeah.
already decided that I'm not getting it. Then why would you work it? You don't have any motivation to work towards it,
Yeah.
right? Personally, I feel I have always felt that, if you focus on the learnings, you can see that this is my place where I usually work from. You can see a lot of posters behind, right? So there is one poster that says that, good people give good memories in life, right? Best people give the happiest memories in life. The bad people or the worst people you meet always give learning experiences in life.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
nothing at all has to actually be very devastating in nature. Because if you're going through a breakup, you lost someone, you are having a lot of conflicts in your romantic relationships, not getting along with parents, right? Not having a good social circle, not being able to assertively communicate at workplace.
Hmm. Hmm.
In all these places, you might feel that, I'm drowning. My life is losing its purpose.
Yeah.
But the point to note there is, if you are surviving, that itself is a big thing, because there are a lot of people who don't survive, but you chose to survive even though you are not living. You are surviving. But if you feel that you can survive, then you can definitely hope to live,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
True.
I feel for people who are naturally reflective, they can reflect on whatever they have, be
Hmm.
grateful for whatever they have.
Have.
You want to rush. In fact, yesterday or day before yesterday, I was having a session with one of my clients, and this is something that I had told that client as well. you know if you feel that, you want to get a girlfriend, you want to get a boyfriend, you want to get a partner as soon as possible, because you feel that, being single is haunting and everyone who is going to judge you and all.
Hmm.
One thing to know, you've judged yourself to be single in your head,
Yeah.
that it's a bad thing.
Yeah. True.
Right? If you have
True.
judged yourself, you cannot be fearful of what others are saying, because you have done what others are supposed to do.
To do. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? One. Secondly, if you feel, yes, I have to get a partner as quickly as possible, and you did, and few years down the line, you're having a lot of conflicts, because obviously, when two people come together, there is going to be some amount of friction because they are two different individuals. It will take some time to understand each other's needs, expectations, and then accommodate. And when that process is happening, you would reflect that, what if I would have taken some more time? Maybe I wouldn't have landed up with this person,
Hmm.
right? So I feel being in a relationship or being single is totally your choice, right? But every choice brings a lot of responsibility with it. There are going to be negative repercussions as well as positive consequences of any decision or choice that you make.
Yeah.
If you're single, positives are very obvious. You are independent, you're not accountable to anyone, you don't have to definitely feel worried that you're going to hurt someone. Negative could be when you are around people who have relationships. You might feel that, I'm the odd one out,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You have both positives and negatives. Being in a relationship, positive, you have someone to share everything with, you have someone to love you. Negative, there are going to be a lot of clash of opinions. They might not understand you at moments.
Hmm.
You might feel alone even after being in a relationship.
Insecurities.
So, insecurities,
Yeah.
insecurities can be there when you're alone as well.
Yeah.
So, that's where I think everything boils down. If you have a good relationship with yourself, you take care of your own insecurities. You
Hmm.
don't ask your partner to make you feel secure,
Yeah.
or anyone else for that matter. If you are doubting, if you feel you have trust issues and you are doubting your partner that he or she might leave you, and but they have never shown any of such behaviors, right? Then it's important that you reflect yourself, you look deep inside yourself, that what is making you doubt. And if you feel there is a doubt, talk it out with your partner. Convey to them. Let them also be a part of the journey that you are also undergoing. Be it an insecure journey, it's okay. Because when you ask someone to be a part of it, their help is more active than passive,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So I feel that if you have a great relationship to yourself, you can be your own friend, you can enjoy your own company.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel that, I say that I need him, me being a girl, I say that I need him. It's important to tell I need me. I need myself to be understanding and empathetic to whatever I am suffering.
Yeah.
Right. And there's one beautiful exercise which I had read online, that if a person comes to you with these problems, this is something that anybody and everybody can do, right? Whenever you feel distraught, you feel disappointed, angry, upset, right? And you feel that you're alone, just imagine if a person comes to you with similar problems. What are some things that you would like to tell them? And tell all those things to yourself, because you are being that person right now,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
That way, what happens? You build a security inside yourself. You trust yourself that any negative experiences comes, I am going to stand strong. Yes, it's going to make me vulnerable. I will
Hmm.
feel pain, not denying that the life is full of roses.
Yeah.
There are going to be thorns, right? But if you feel that you can fight, that gives you strength,
Hmm.
right? So I feel, like you asked, the solution, I feel the solution is to look deep inside on your relationship with yourself, and how much are you contributing to the problems that you're facing.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
might be judging yourself, you might be making yourself feel insecure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that if everyone is consciously able to do, they would learn to understand themselves more, be empathetic to themselves more, because we often become very hard on ourselves,
Hmm.
and that kind of starts causing the cracks in the relationship that we have with ourselves.
True. True. Yeah. Yeah. True. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing solutions with us, and thank you very much for being here and joining us. It was great to have you, and yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you for inviting me to this platform.
My pleasure. Thank you again.